Hi there, I'm Pa again, and this is my 6th lesson of Italian with Pa. This time we will look at verbs and pronouns. We will start by looking at the conjugation of the verb essere, which is the Italian to be. The first person singular is io sono, which is the equivalent of I am. The second person singular is tu sei, which is the equivalent of you are. The third person singular masculine is lui or egli è. Lui is much more used than egli. Egli is pretty rare nowadays. The third person singular is lei or ella è, which is the equivalent of she is. Ella is not used that much nowadays. Lei is also the second person singular in a formal situation. Ella is used too in that case and is considered even more formal than lei. The first person plural, noi siamo, we are. A second person plural, voi siete, you are. The third person plural, loro sono, which is also the second person in a formal situation. As you can see, pronouns and verbs have to agree on both number and in some cases they will need to agree on gender, but we will examine that in future. It also needs to be said that in Italian you can omit the pronoun altogether, as the verb ending usually tells us what person it is that we are talking about. So we will say things like sono Paolo, I'm Paolo, or è Francesca, she's Francesca. Let's have a look at two other verbs now. Venire, which is to come from. First person singular is vengo, or io vengo. Second person singular is tu vieni, or vieni. Third person singular masculine, lui or egli viene. The third person singular feminine, lei or ella viene or viene, but it is also the formal second person singular. First person plural, veniamo or noi veniamo. Second person plural, venite or voi venite. Third person plural, vengono or loro vengono, but again it is also the formal second person plural. We will also look at the verb vivere, which means to live. First person singular is vivo or io vivo. Second person singular is tu vivi or vivi. Third person singular masculine is vive or lui or egli vive. The third person singular feminine is vive, like the masculine, but you can say lei vive or ella vive. Again, lei and ella are also the equivalent of formal second person singular. First person plural is viviamo or noi viviamo. Second person plural is voi vivete or vivete. Third person plural, loro vivono or vivono. Again, this corresponds also to the formal second person plural. As you can see, these verbs conjugate in a slightly different way, as they are two different types of verbs. Verbs ending in ere and verbs ending in ire. Venire, like other verbs that end in ire, is somewhat irregular as it has a mutation in its first person singular and third person plural by adding a G, but normally most regular verbs just follow vivere, with some differences for the other types of verbs. But normally most regular verbs just follow vivere, with some differences for the other types of verbs, the ones that end in ire and the one in are. But we'll discuss that in detail in future lessons. For now, it is important to learn these verbs in this form, and the verb essere too, as we will find the use for them in coming lessons. Okay, this is enough for today. More to come soon. As ever, keep practicing. Write to me if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel. Alla prossima, ciao!